it to calculate the lunar cycle because it shows us the movement of the moon of the sun. It shows us the position of every planet within our galaxy. So it shows us all this, and it shows them in their own shapes, because if they are not created in that shapes, they will never be able to get or calculate it accurately. Such as if the compass is not created in the shape of the earth, which is the flat earth we are talking about, it will not be able to navigate our locations. It must be the same as that which you want to use it to navigate. If you want to fly up there, you take a bird, you study the birds, you know how the birds avoid what is so-called the gravity, because of course, I'm still into that to understand if the gravity really exists. Because now, if we want to understand, anything that can fly up there, you try to understand how the birds are using their wings. Are they using their wings to create, more, to push whatever just what you understand to be the gravity, to push it down, to create equal and opposite, reaction towards the gravity, to push it down while they keep lifting themselves up. So if you understand that behavior, you will understand how to manufacture something that will behave like them. And anything that will behave like them is something that will be able to fly. So if you are creating anything that will behave like them, it must have shape like them. It depends on how fast you want it to be. One of the things that flies so high and flies so fast is a swift eagle. So it depends on how fast you want it to be, or how stable you want it to be up there. You will check, what are you depicting, what are you creating, what are you recreating. Those are the things that we need to understand. If you don't get it the shape perfectly like that swift eagle, you will not get something that will behave like swift eagle. You cannot be looking for something that behaves like swift eagle and you are looking for a dove, or you are building a shape like a dove. No, you must have those features in that swift eagle in your technological, creation, so that it will behave similar when it is up there. So that's exactly why I submit that our earth we see today is flat plane. Because the navigation is flat, the clock is flat. The first origin of mechanic, which was used to calculate the lunar cycle, shows that it is flat. So who and how will somebody come up to tell us differently? Because we have evidence to back it up that everything that is in technology existed in nature first. And everything you are creating in technology, you must have it behave like that which you've seen in nature. And when we talk about this flat earth, it will now beg the question, is our the positions of our hemispheres, or the positions of this north and south, are they accurate? Are they accurate? Don't forget, because what confuses a lot of people is that when we talk about this issue, when we talk about this flat earth reality, people talk about mountain, the existence of mountain. Mountain does not take away a flat earth. Mountain is mountain. Mountain is mountain. Mountain is in a particular place. It does not cover everywhere. What we are looking at is the the flat surface. If you climb up there, you might not be able to determine which one is mountain and which one is flat surface. That's exactly what you need to understand. If you go higher above, you will not determine which one is or where is. Except if you are familiar with, climbing up there, and then that's the only time you will be able to know their position. A novice, you climb up there. Once you reach, to the certain altitude, you will no longer see anything like mountain. Everything you will see will be actually aligning with each other. And then you start seeing clouds. So mountain is a layer in a flat plane. We are talking about a plane with a dome up there. A plane with a dome up there, which is the firmament. We have a firmament up there, which is the reason why the out of space mission is literally impossible. Out of space mission is literally impossible because we have a dome above us. It is depicted in the origin of mechanics. It is depicted in the first analog computer, where they actually started, how our clock and mechanism started, coming around. It is depicted there. Now, let me give you an example of flat, that our earth is flat. Remember that every technology that you want to innovate, you need to start with a flat panel. A flat panel, any technology that you want to actually create, the panel you are going to use is going to be flat. And inside that flat panel, you will find where there will be a microchip which creates the center that brings balance from the opposite side and the negative side. Everything we are depicting in our technology exists in our earth reality. It is understanding our existence. That's how we can actually, create secondary stuff which is in our technology. Everything is flat. Everything is flat. And I'm going to actually, do the practical right in front of you. I am going to actually illustrate it practically in front of you so that we will understand exactly what we are talking about. Because the study of navigation itself reveals additional layer of interconnectedness between the compass and what it is used to navigate, which is our planet Earth. That is it. That is it. If we can understand that we are inspired by things that is already in our existence, actually in our innovations, in our technological, creation, there is already something that is, exists there in nature that will inspire you to create the artificial of it. Because the interconnectedness of nature and technology extend beyond the navigation and flight. Because in the field such as robotic, engineers often draw inspiration from the movement and behavior of animals. animals or biomimicry. The practice of emulating the strategies found in nature to solve human problems has led to innovations in designs. So, it must be there before. So there is, when people say they innovate something, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It already existed naturally. They are just procreating. Robots are created like animals, or like human robots must be created like human. They must look like human before they behave like human. They must have something that depicts the brain of a human before they will begin to behave like human. For instance, the structure of a lotus leaf has inspired water repellent surface, while the efficiency of a termite or termite mounds has influenced climate control system in buildings. Because this example highlights the natural world. The natural world serves as blueprint for technological advancement, while reinforcing the idea that every aspect of our existence is interwoven. This cannot go without this, the interconnectedness. That's why whenever you see anybody who understands our existence, they will look at the flower of life, because flower of life is basically, it is like the scourge before creation, or the scourge, or will I say, it is a map. Remember that anything you want to build, the first thing you need to actually create is the map of such thing. If you have the map of such thing, you will be able to actually utilize the map and build whatever that thing you want to build. The map is like the what do you call it? The rough work is the map. Now, the flower of life is the map of our existence. Map does not only deal with navigation. We are talking about the map of our existence. If you want to build any electronic panel, you have to have the map. You must have the map first. If you want to build a house, you must have the map first. So the flower of life is the map used to build our existence. That is the flower of life. You can use it to analyze everything in our existence. And we're going to actually do the practical right in front of you as we round up our theory, because the relationship between the nature and technology is a statement to the interconnectedness of all things. From the compacts that we are talking about that reflects the Earth magnetic field to the airplanes that mimic the flight of birds, our technological innovation are deeply rooted in the principles and patterns observed in the natural world. Because the interconnectedness not only enhances our understanding of the universe, but also encourages us to respect and learn from the environment that sustains us. Because this environment that sustains us actually grants us every knowledge that we need in order to navigate our day-to-day activities and in order to evolve and thrive. But we must not actually dishonor this bond between everything in existence. Now, let me bring this image in front of you. Let's bring this image in front of you. This is actually a compass. This is a compass. This compass you see here is exactly the shape of of Earth. This is the shape of Earth. When you get to your wall clock, it is the shape of Earth. Regardless of whether it is placed in a square or placed in a rectangle object, it still depicts this. Flat Earth. It is flat Earth. They cannot work accordingly if they do not, if they are not, built like what they are going to be used for. Because our Earth and the flat Earth works in line with these technologies, such as this. That's why the magnetic field aligns. They actually, connect with each other. The magnetic north and the south, they connect with each other. They continue to lead you to your destination because they are in alignment with each other. Earth is depicted here. Earth is depicted here. The only thing that they can lie about is the position of, the only thing that they can lie about is the labeling of these things. They can lie about it. We know that east and west is actually, it was invented. We know about north and the south because that's where the, the magnetic, field is. East and west, they just came in. So exactly what we are talking about is that Earth cannot be a sphere, while what navigates Earth is a flat plane. It can never be. It doesn't make sense. If Earth is a sphere, the navigation must be a sphere. It doesn't matter how complicated it will be. It must be a sphere. If a plane wants to actually fly like a bird, the plane must be like a bird before it will be able to fly like a bird. It must have every features that bird has in order to fly. It must have a wing or a propeller, because the propeller can depict the wings. So this is one of them. Look at this. Look at this. As you are looking at this, let's now go to, okay, this is another one. This is another one, which is the one we had on our screen. The one we had on our screen. One moment, let's find out why it's not coming out clear. Let's wipe the camera a bit. It is not still clear. Just one moment. Just like you are seeing it here, it's supposed to be clear, but I don't know why it is not coming out clear here. I think I need to shift, I need to move a little bit. Okay, we can still make use of it. Let's try to make use of this. So in this map, you see in our wall clock, there must be a center, the center which actually divide between the day and the night. The day and the night, which is, the north and the south. That's what you see here. These two areas, the north and the south. Regardless of them placing the north on top here, the north and the south. So now, if it is not actually created just like the shape of our planet Earth, it will ring error. It will continue to give us error. That's why if you want to catch a fish, you must behave like the fish. If you cannot behave like the fish, you will never be able to catch the fish. If you want to create, something that aligns with the magnetic field of Earth, you must create something that is like the Earth, which is the compass that we have that is, in front of you, which tells us that what we are using it to navigate is a flat plane. And no one should tell you differently. No one should tell you different, because the spherical Earth came with indoctrination. Spherical Earth came with business of space. All these things. It came with business of space traveling and space, all those things. That's how this spherical Earth came from. That's how it came, into reality. Tell me, how can you use such compacts to navigate a sphere like this? Does it make sense to you? If we are living in a sphere, which means there are people who are living in a higher, altitude. If we are living in a sphere, let's just determine the difference between sphere and our flat plane. Sphere suggests that people are living even upside down. That is fair for you. That is fair. But a flat plane suggests that everyone is actually living on equal level, except those who actually build houses on the mountain. Those who build houses on the mountain. That's why you see, when you get to if you get to the ocean, when it is calm, when there is no current, it is all flat. It is all flat. Whether there is a mountain beneath the ocean, whether there is anything beneath the ocean, they all align. They are the same surface. They are all the same surface. Except if there is a valley. Valley is the only thing that will make the ocean not to be on the same level. But anything that is actually beneath the ocean will never make the ocean, the ocean level to change. It will never make the ocean level to change, to show you we are living in a flat plane. Current comes, the ocean started misbehaving, or the ocean started reacting to the current by rising. It rises the ocean, but does not change the level of the ocean. After the current, the ocean will go, the waves, which is actually, waves is probably created by the current, right? So the waves comes, it rises, it actually settles. The same level, it stays the same level. It does not change the level of the sea. So those are the two different things. Those are the things that are, that shows us that the earth is flat. Even if you take the pyramid of Giza, go and throw it into Atlantic Ocean, all of them. You dip them into Atlantic Ocean, it will never make the ocean to change, no, the level of the ocean to change. The only thing that separates the level of the ocean is if there is actually, layers. If they are layered, where there is a valley, the ocean now will be pouring into the valley. That's the only thing. It pours into the valley, but it will never change the level of the ocean because we are living on a level surface. If you go to the Sahara, Sahara area or Sahara Desert, you will see the landmass there is basically, they are flat plain. You will walk until you get tired. Now look at the compacts. How on earth do you think that these compacts will be compatible with these spheres? All these spheres. How on earth do you think they will be compatible, to each other? It is impossible. They can never work on a sphere. If you want a compact that might, if we are using sphere, or if our realm is sphere, or our earth is sphere, we should be looking at a compact that is actually sphere. If you look at this, it still depicts our compacts. Still depict our compacts. The same, way our compacts is the same way this is. Every planet is not, is basically here. Every planet here is basically a flat plane. Look at, the only thing that is like a globe is the moon and the sun. The moon and the sun, because they serve a special purpose. They serve a special purpose. Many may argue that if we are living on a flat plane, that the gravity will pull it over, will pull it down. That's if there is existence of gravity. Because this idea of gravity comes as a result of this spherical earth. There is up and down. If you jump up, you come down. Except if you have something that keeps you up. It's a common sense on a plain sight that we don't want to embrace. Some people will say there is no up, there is no down. If there is no up, there is no down, what are we seeing like a cloud? Where does the rain come, fall from? If there is no up and there is no down, where does the rain fall from? It doesn't matter whether what, create precipitation is coming from the, from our ground. It doesn't matter, but where does this rain come from? It falls from up. Now, another thing that is very important that we need to understand is that our solar system that is actually down here, all these places are down here. They are not up there. But because we have a reflective dome up there, they reflect things that we see here. They show us the reflection of it. Both the stars are here. The stars are here with us. But the reflection we see up there, which is like a mirror. That's what we see up there. We're not seeing reality up there. We are seeing reflections. So when people talk about constellation of stars, the constellation of stars, what we see up there is basically the mirror of the constellation of stars. That's what we see up there. But the real constellations of stars are the things are actually within us. Are within us. Not necessarily inside the, within our earth, but beyond our earth. because the earth kept on expanding. What we have, it kept on expanding, kept on expanding. You know, it is not like how do I, let me show you something that is going to, if we have a sphere, okay, if we have something like a ball, it does not expand. They want you to believe you are living in a ball so that you will believe that you have not a that what exists on this earth is just like Africa, Australia, Asia, Europe, and America. Yeah, they want you to believe that it is those things that that exist in our planet Earth. Maybe Antarctica, which is, you can't include it in our planet Earth because we don't go there. It is heavily guarded. So anywhere we cannot access is not part of Earth, right? Because Earth is for human, and humans are supposed to access every part of Earth. So if we cannot access this part of Earth, is not, it is part of the things they are hiding from us. That's why they created this round ball to make you believe that it does not extend. But I want you to know today that Earth gave birth to many planets. Earth gave birth to many planets as we are having tectonic shift in our own surrounding, creating continent. The same way it is shifting also from the other side, because there must be opposite and equal and opposite reaction. Once it is shifting here, it is moving further away. When it is moving further away, it is creating more, it is creating more planets beyond our ice wall. That's the way the planets are created. When someone is telling you that the meteorite or the something, what do they call this? Just move away from my mind, that it fall and it creates planets. No, it's tectonic shift that create more planets. Earth gave birth to many planets. Earth is in the middle. I want you to understand how, what the, these things that is called, if it is if Earth is like a sphere, it will not expand. Look at this. If Earth is this, it will not expand. It will not expand the landmass. Because if the tectonic shift is happening, let us be, be sincere with ourselves. Tectonic shift creates oceans. Tectonic shift moves ocean. Tectonic shift moves landmass. And if it keep on moving, it must move to an extent of, where it will be compacted. So where is it moving to? Is it moving and staying? That means planet Earth gave birth to other planets. Planet Earth continued to extend and expand. Nothing is actually, I want you to understand that nothing in existence is declining or stagnant. Nothing in existence is stagnant. Everything is expanding. Expansion. The ocean is expanding. The landmass is expanding. Everything is expanding. And the more they are expanding, the more they are creating new places, new things. That's one thing we need to understand. But if it is a sphere like this, it stays. It does not expand. When you hear go into the world and multiply, the same is applicable to nature. Go into the world and multiply. Heaven and earth was created. Who created the rest of the planet? Think about it. Heaven and earth was created. Who created Jupiter, Mars, and etc.? It is the expansion of earth over billions of years. It continued to expand. It continued to move. It continued to shift and expand and create new planets. It is very simple. For those who have, who still keeps their logic with them, It is not basically for those. I might not be able to see your comment, but I will check it. I will check it when I am actually done. And those who gave me gift, thank you for the gift. So that is the essence of this. For you not to ever understand that your planet gave birth to other planets, for you not to understand that it is the extension of your planet, and the more it is giving birth to those planets, the more the ice wall is building, is also expanding beyond our planet. What I call the our planet things, because the ice wall serves. What happened, guys? Kindly tap the screen. TikTok, I think it's no longer sharing the video. Tap the screen and share the video. Okay, Langos Sayanda said, read the Bible. We are living in a closed surface. We are not living in a closed surface. No one can go up. We are in a flat plane. And flat plane does not, it doesn't mean that we are living in a closed, it doesn't mean that there is no dome. There is no firmament. Firmament it actually closes us down, but does not mean that it is a sphere. It is not a sphere. This sphere is something else. This sphere does not even tell you that you are living in a closed surface, because the sphere tells you that they are still going up and down. They are going up and exiting the firmament. That's what this sphere tells you, isn't it? When we are living in a flat plane, we are covered by a dome that is impermeable. A dome that is impermeable, but the land mass continues to expand. And when it is expanding, the dome continues to expand, because there is no beginning, there is no end. Anunnaki, you say, who are those? What do you mean by who are those? Anunnaki, you say, who are? They are who? You say they who? Who are those? What do you mean? I don't understand. Maybe we'll write it. Or are you referring to the person who commented that we are living in a close? Now, let me also tell you, one thing you should know is that when the narrative that suggests that no one can get out does not mean that you cannot go into other planets. You can go into other planets through the gateways within the ice wall. That's one thing they are hiding from us. But you cannot go into other planets using the firmament or exiting the firmament with a rocket. No, you can't. It is impermeable dome. So there are gateways within the ice wall. There are gateways. There is even ocean gates that can take you to the next realm, the next planet, because our Earth gave birth to this planet. Therefore, moving this, this shift that creates this other planet will grant you access to this other planet, the gateways. It also creates the gateways to get out of this planet. But now, no one will go out of space. Because going into other planets does not mean you are going out of space. No, you cannot go out of space to get to other planets. It is the extension of the planet Earth. Don't start counting our existence from 6,000 years ago of the rise of Roman Empire. No. Our existence is more than a million years ago, and the Earth existed before us. Earth, the planet, existed before us. He created heaven and earth. Before, in fact, we were actually one of the last, things that was created and planted in the earth. So, planet Earth was one. It gave birth to many other, planets. So what is above us is something that is, that is so difficult to understand. What is above us, above our firmament, is the heaven. But now, if what is there is the heaven, how come these guys came to tell you that they came from heaven? So these are which begs the question of this, the coming of the Anunnakis. It begs the questions, where does the Anunnaki come from? Because Anunnaki never came from the up there, because up there should be the heaven. Heaven basically means where everything is decided. It is higher above. Everything is decided. So now, Anunnaki that is here, how will they tell us that they came from up there? Does it make sense for you to know that most of these stories, they were manipulated? They were disjointed. Because Anunnaki cannot come from here to earth by going up there, by going out of space in coming here, because for him to come here, he must go out of space, right? Because there are barriers, right? But if Anunnaki used the gateways that brought them here, gateways within, because planet Earth is basically, the height of planet Earth is higher than all of these planets. Planet Earth is higher up than all of these planets. You know why? Because it gave birth to them. It is giving birth to them, moving them downwards. After heaven is planet Earth. After the dome is planet Earth. And that dome covers all these other planets. So even if you get to this other planet, you are not exposed to the space or out of space. You are not exposed out of space. You are still within the firmament. That's one thing we need to understand. These other planets are within they are actually beneath us. They are not above us. So going in there through the gateways of the ice wall or the, wherever, or the ocean gate, does not suggest that you are going out of space. You are blocked from going out of space. That's what you are blocked from doing. And that origin of mechanics actually, made it easy for us to understand it further. Now look at this. Well, if we use this to study this, remember that these waves, this is millennium Milky Way. What we have here, millennium, which is moving this way, the same way as the clock, but it's supposed to be moving this way, supposed to be extending this way. What we have here. Now think about it. Where they say is the sun is not the sun, because the sun is not in the center. It is not in the middle. Earth is the center of the universe. Earth is the center of the universe. That's why every other planet feed on Earth. Earth is the feed for every other planet. Now look at it. Earth is in the middle here. And when Earth is moving, which it is not moving as a result of Earth orbiting around this, orbiting the sun. No, the Earth is moving because the Earth is actually expanding. What we see here is the expansion of Earth. And when the Earth is starting, when Earth started, Earth is smaller. Earth was smaller. Everything was together. That's why you see Pangaea map. That's why you see other maps that suggest that Africa was a supercontinent before the tectonic shift happened. Then you have Europe, then you have America, then you have Asia, then you have Arab, then you have Australia. Antarctica was close to Madagascar, was actually it was like tight. Let me show you. No need of talking too much. Like, you can look it up. Look at this map. When you look at this map, look at where you see South America. Did you see how close they are connected? Antarctica, there is nothing like a borderline. There is nothing like a borderline. Here, what we see here is this is actually, they are close to each other. We know there is, ocean moving here, but they are very, very close to each other, tightly close to each other. Look at them. Antarctica, close to Mozambique, close to South Africa, close to Madagascar. Australia is glued to Antarctica. India is glued to Antarctica. So, and then South America, remember that Antarctica, when it is moving also, it is moving with South America towards what they call south today. Towards the south today, because what they call south today is lower. Not this map, because this map depicts it properly, where they call south today. Remember that the depiction of this map here supposed to turn a little, tilt a little bit of, towards this side, because it is not facing up mostly. It's supposed to tilt a little bit towards this side. Now look at it. All of them are together. Now, when tectonic shift happened, this one began to move. They began to move. This one moved this way. This one moved this way. But this gateway, remember from South America, Amazonia, remember they have gateway into Antarctica. That's how Adolf Hitler, went to Argentina. That's why Adolf Hitler went to Argentina, because he was running into Antarctica. He was one of the people who made that use of that area. Adolf Hitler ran into Argentina in order to escape through Antarctica. That's what he did. Now look at it. They are still connected to each other. Even when they move down, they are still connected to each other somehow. So when the tectonic shift happens, the more they are moving, the more the land mass is expanding, the more it is shifting beyond the ice wall, the more it is creating more continents and more planets. Because there must be, it cannot move and leave a loophole. It must move and compact somewhere. That's exactly what it does. If it moves, it must compact somewhere. If it doesn't, that means there will be a collapse. There will be a collapse. So that's why when they are moving, they also move beyond. As they are moving the land mass. They are moving the dome. They are moving the ice wall. They are moving everything beyond our realm. That is exactly how it does it happening here. Because this is what we know, right? This is the one we know. But we don't know that this one gave birth to this. That's why some of these gods are living beyond the ice walls. Those who call themselves God, Belal, all these gods that we celebrate in the Christmas, Easter, they are living within these areas beyond the ice walls, because the earth continues to expand. So we know that sometimes the scientists, they lie to us, because the malevolent must actually bring a template that they must use to represent whatever their findings are. Otherwise, they will be unalive, especially the church. Is it the most pro-debating on what he doesn't know but believes? What are you saying? The most? What are you saying? I don't understand what you said here. Maybe if you want to actually, if you know better, you can actually come up. If you are referring to me, you can actually come up and tell us more, because what you need is your common sense. You are made and given a frontal lobe, and you are made given a common sense. So you use your common sense to analyze your existence. So, but I don't know what you're referring to. If you're referring to me, that's my answers to you. So now, if you look at this, you see within this ice wall, you see there is here. What you see here is a gate. What you see here is a gate. What you see here is a gate. It's an exit. You can exit them, but you are not existing them into a space. You are going into another dome, another planet, or you are, even if you go to Mars, you are not exposed to out of space. You are still within the firmament. That's one thing. Because interconnectedness of everything is connected to one another. Let me depict it so that you will know. So that you will know that we are not just, saying it for saying its sake. Because we know that people will come, with some of their, whatever they might think. It doesn't matter. If you believe, present your philosophy, come and tell us about your philosophy. We were actually talking about this earlier. In when you say Earth is round, is it your name? I don't see your name. I see Earth is round. Is it your name? What do you mean by Earth is round? Is it flat round, or is it spherical round you're talking about? Because we have different types of round. Even this, like I said before, this will tell you that we are living in a flat plane. This will tell you that we are living in a flat plane. It will tell you. Exactly. Earth expanding. Expansion of Earth. Just like I've told you, here is the sky. Here is the sky, the reflection of the stars as the Earth is expanding and the moon is also being created. Here is the reflection of all of them in the sky. Oh, you say spherical round. I don't know why I can't see your name. Don't you have a name? I can see your name. Spherical round. Why is the moon round? Moon is serving a purpose. The moon is serving a purpose. That's why it is round. And the reason why your globes, anything that actually gives you light, is mostly round somehow, like the moon, like your bulbs, it's like round like moon because they are serving a purpose. They emit light. They illuminate. So that's why the moon and the earth is not the same. The moon is created for earth. Earth is not made for moon. Every planet in existence has its own moon. The sun can multitask because the sun is quite strong, super strong. Because if you see the axis of the sun, you find out the sun is covering not only planet Earth, it is also covering, I think, it is closer to, I think the sun is closer to, we will find out. We will find out when we open the origin of mechanics. We will find out what the sun is closer to, but it is not within our axis, but it is outside our axis. But the moon is ours. The moon is local. So it is serving its purpose. So the moon and earth is not the same. So when, I don't know, that's where now you begs the question, or what begs the question, the moon trip, is it a reality? The moon trip, is it a reality? Moon is not basically like a planet. The sun is not basically like a planet. Those are special, celestial bodies. Those are special creation. And they are not really that natural. Because what is natural is darkness. Anything that, illuminates is basically artificial. Anything that is darkness is natural, because you cannot create darkness, but you can create light. You cannot create darkness, you can create light. So the moon and the sun, you can see them to be spherical, that's okay. They are different from Earth. Earth, we are, you know what is living on Earth? We are, on Earth, we have solids. We have solids. Things that people actually, find it difficult to understand. When we talk about, when they hear about, there is nothing ever, there is no solid, but there is no solid only when they are still in quantum state. So, let us go to this. Let me introduce. Okay, let me see what you say here before we proceed. Moon can be seen as a plasma, cryptic. Yes, I also, see moon as a plasma. I also see moon as a plasma. And that's why it can be what it is, because anything that will, just like your globe, your bulb, your electricity bulb or electric bulb that actually illuminates. If you look at it, it is round, right? It is round, and once you crack it, it will no longer work. Once you crack the bulb, it will no longer work. It will fuse. So, the moon, we know it was made, and it could be a plasma. But because it illuminates, therefore, the sun as well is made. It is not natural. That's why China also can make their own sun, and they put on their sun few days ago. They lit their sun few days ago, China, and their sun was able to, wow, the sun was so hot, the Chinese sun. I forgot how many, what was the capacity of that sun for China. They lit it few days ago. So now, let's continue. In this regard, anything that is a light is actually one or two things brought together and created. That's why when I say that darkness is primordial state, darkness is the image of God, of the Creator, not really God, because we are God. The image of the Creator is darkness. That's why people are so scared of darkness. That's why the people who indoctrinated us made us to, detest darkness, made us to hate darkness so much, but in their closet, they pray to darkness. The people who colonized us, who lied to us, in their closet, they pray to darkness, dark angels, but they give you light angels. Now, you contextualize it in natural, physics, like your physics that talks about matter. Which dark matter is something that is they cannot fathom. They're still starting to understand dark matter. It doesn't emit light. It does not emit light. So darkness you see today is primordial state of creation. They bully darkness, light bully darkness, because light believes that when it appears, darkness vanishes. But that's not the case. That's not the case. Darkness allows the light, because darkness is, darkness is that thing that is, that can accommodate. It allows others to exist. But the light believes that it is superior. That is actually the cosmic, when you understand the cosmic dance, you will know that there is this quarrel between darkness and light, but only individuals who understand, I don't know, will I call it spiritual or metaphysical, who will understand what I'm talking about. There is a quarrel between darkness and light. It has been there. And that's exactly what is depicted in our reality. People with dark skin and people with a lighter skin. There is something about them. The lighter skin believe that they are superior to the dark skin. Even though there are some area where you can expose both of them, the lighter skin will not survive. The dark skin will survive, because that skin can endure, but the lighter skin cannot endure. So it is the depiction of, the cosmic depiction is our existence, is in our existence between the light skin and the dark skin. The same way it is connected, the same way we are talking about our flat plane and the compacts. The dichotomy of, or the relationship between the compacts and our plane. They must be alike, so that they will actually, work alike. They will, be able to coexist. So light is artificial. Darkness is the primordial state of creation. Likewise, dark-skinned people, they are primordial God. While light is basically out, that came before, after. It came after. So it is not being, this is not being discriminating. This is not about discrimination or racist or not. This is reality. This is reality. The people who told us to pray, they are the people who indoctrinated us. They want us to be praying to them. Basically, we are praying to them. They are from Orion and Sorion, the star system, Orion and Sorion, connected to the blood type RH, the reptilian. They hide information. They have this tendency of making us to abstain from information. They block us from knowing things. So when we talk about the concept of prayers is about your behavior. How do you treat your ecosystem? How do you treat your things that is around you? That is prayer. How you treat them is how they react to you. How you treat your fellow human being is how you will be treated. That is prayer. Prayer does not mean you need to go into a room called a church owned by one person who wears suit and tie and stand every day using microphone to preach exactly the same thing all the time. No, that is not prayer. The prayer is all about do unto others what you want them to do unto you. If you treat the ecosystem good, the ecosystem will behave good to you. If you treat it bad, it will behave bad to you. If you mess your surroundings, mosquito will eat you up. If you keep it clean, there will be no mosquito. So that's exactly, it is how we behave. That is the prayers we do. We recognize that we came from one source. That's why there is an interconnectedness of everything in our reality. They are super connected to each other. They are connected to each other. So there is something I want us to check. Let's go to the flower of life again. I want to actually show you something here. Why isn't this opening? Let's go there. I was actually okay. Now okay, one moment. Let's the program that I opened for the sake of this, I don't know why I cannot find it anymore, but let me use this one to recreate. Now let's actually, I have to start afresh. The program I opened was going to give me what I was looking for, like make it easier for me to draw what I was trying to draw. But however, it doesn't matter. Let's use this one, but it is incomplete. That's the challenge is here. Now let me show you the map of creation. That's why you see people call it the face of the creator. The face of the creator. That's what we're trying to create right now. There is something the first circle depict. Now let me show you how what the malevolent is doing with us. Have you ever seen, okay, let me do it here instead of telling you exactly what it looks like. Let me show you what the malevolent does with us. This is what the malevolent does with us. This is the planet Earth where we are able to access. The rest of these ones, we are not accessing this one. That is the way it is. We can access, this is where we live. The northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, this is where we live here. But the one here we cannot access. Because the malevolent is guarding it. Because there are informations that is here that can change everything in our lives. That is the information that is here. But the one here, this is where we occupied. Here is, I always tell people to make use of map of Toyota. When you see the map of Toyota, that bigger part is the part that we cannot access. But the path where the logo is complete is the path where they have given to us. Look at it. That's the way it is. We access this place. We can't access this place. Why? Who stays there? Okay, but let's continue. And that is exactly how it is in our flat plane. And that's why if the map of existence is actually, showing us a flat plane like this, then what are you not saying? What are you telling me about whether we are living? Are you still thinking about it, whether we are living on a flat plane or whether we are still living in the sphere that they gave to us? Dude, Everything is an evidence that we are living on a flat plane. Everything is an evidence. Look at it here. I'm going to bring the rest of it, but let us get done with this one. When I'm done with this one, we continue with the rest of them. This is actually the beginning. This is the sketch of the existence before it actually, come to reality, before creation started. That is what we see here. Now we continue to move. Looks like this one is one moment. Looks like this one is too bigger. This is bigger. Because what we are doing right now, we are starting afresh. We are starting afresh. There must be a sketch first before the reality exists. A good builder will start with the map of the building. I made a mistake here, but we'll find a way to navigate it. We are not drawing it to be perfect. We are drawing it for illustration, basically. Because it is difficult to draw this just quickly with perfection. Quite difficult to draw it with perfection, but we do what we can. So one more. Okay. Now we are done here. So I know I have made a mistake here yet, but okay, let me correct this. I am not using the measurement. The program that I was supposed to use to draw this was supposed to be easier, but unfortunately the program got closed, and for me to locate that program, it is going to be difficult. So when we look at this is basically our, the sketch of creation before the creation comes in. It relates to the interconnectedness of everything in our existence. They are alive. They continue to expand. They are connected to each other. That's what we see here. They continue to expand. Now, if you want to use it to analyze our Earth, you call this our planet Earth. You call this our planet Earth, the middle, the center one. This is where challenges come in, because it is not going to align, because I was not measuring it. It's all in a flat plane. I was not measuring it. Now, this continues to expand. The more we are moving, the more it is continuing to it continues to expand. Now, we have a mistake here. We have a mistake here. And that mistake, we cannot correct it. So this is how they will continue to expand. They will continue to expand. The same way I told you, the movement of our Earth, they continue to expand. When the tectonic shift happens, it is the expansion of our realm. It is off shape, so I cannot add much more. It is out of shape already. I think I got some, the measurement is not accurate. So if you want to do this, you must use your measurement, and your measurement must be accurate for you to understand what you are doing. So look at this. If this is the planet Earth, the center, no matter how much, if everything happens here and they move away, if everything here begin to move away, this center will never move away, because it is the one that gave birth to all of these things. It gave birth to all of these things. The center is the first one to be placed. The center is the first one to be placed. It's unfortunate I'm using something, what is it called? Notepad to draw this. I don't have Microsoft. The computer I have Microsoft is basically so slow. So it irritates when I'm trying to use it to create something. So it was going to give me better thing, because I was supposed to be able to move these things away from, from their places, but I can't do it with this program. Or maybe I don't know how to do it with Notepad. I know how to do it with Microsoft. So in this regard, if I move all of these things away from each other, it creates things like this. It creates things like this. Otherwise, if I want to now follow the agenda of the indoctrinator, it creates things like this. If I move them away from each other, it gives us things like this. Now, if we want to, continue. Oh, yeah. So if we have to, wow. If we have to continue this way, look at it. It all started as a map. It all started as a map, supercontinent. And they begin to create, they were sending each other out. But the fact that they are sending each other out does not mean they're not still connected to each other. They are still connected to each other, because the more they are sending each other out, it continues to expand, the firmament continue to expand to guard and protect each and every one of them from the harshness of this, out of space. That's what it does. Now, this is a flower of life, deals with a flat plane. Where did the sphere come from? Let me show you how the sphere come around. The sphere came from here, because I believe they are, I believe they were trying to, okay. Okay, the sphere comes from when they place the tetrahedron here. Tetrahedron, when they place it here with 4 vertices. Tetrahedron that comes with 4 vertices. Now, when they place it here, they place a circle within. That's how they create their spherical Earth. But what you see here is the sketch of our existence. Everything that is in our reality appears here. They all started like this. They all started like this. That's why you can call this the face of the creator. You can call this the sketch of the creation. You can call this the map of the creation. You can call this the map of existence. That is what it is. I never draw it properly, but it's just something that I depicted to show you exactly how it is. But next time I will try to, of course, there are videos that I have already made that will actually show you exactly how I put them together and I scatter them. It's on my page right now. It's one of the last videos I posted on my page right now. So it shows you when I actually put them together and how I scattered them to give you what we are actually seeing as the map, or as the map of our what do you call the map of our planet or universe, the map of our universe, which can come like in this way, or it can come in another way. So this is the map of our universe when they were all under this man here. Before this man started moving, started shifting, and giving birth to all of them. Giving birth to all of them. And they are, planet Earth is higher up. And the rest of the planet are actually beneath the planet Earth. So when people think about our Earth like a, they call it a prism, it is understanding that the planet Earth is like a spring, it's like a ring. There is a place we were talking today. I gave illustration of a ring. This is a spring from the old bed. Those spring, remember, from the tiny part on top, basically is you can call it the planet Earth, because that is the beginning. From the beginning, it continued to expand bigger. That's how these things work. It continued to expand and give birth to all these galaxies and planets you see within this area. And these things are not up there. They are not higher above the planet Earth. They are a bit lower from the planet Earth, because planet Earth gave birth to all of them. It all started this way. Right? That's how it all started. Supercontinent. That's what they call the supercontinent. And you look at this. It all started this way before they began their journey to their destination. Look at it. They all were together. They began their journey. Do you see the connection between these two things? That's the way it is. They began their journey. And the more these ones who began their journey are journeying, the more they are moving, the more the landmass is moving, the more the ocean is expanding, the more the continents are creating, the more the planets are actually creating. That's the way it is. Now let's go to the origin of mechanics, so that we will explain it further with the origin of mechanics. Otherwise, let me see. Before we go there, let's check this out. Now let's see the flower of life, the real one. Look at the real one. Look at the real one, the one that is complete. The one that is complete, drawn properly. Now this is the real one. The one that is complete, basically. You see this circle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many it is. 5 here. That's exactly what we're trying to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we made it 4. It wasn't 5, basically. That's why we cannot get it right. This was 4. So that's why we cannot get it right. So now there is 5 here. 5, there are 5, circle. And then they continue to expand. This 5 circle, it gave birth to here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. They continue. This is the life inside it. The life inside it is what you see as a flower. You see those flowers? They are the life inside the, existence. That is it. The existence is what actually the first was created, was the cycle, which is our flat plane, and the life inside it, which is the flower you see inside it. And this life inside it, it depicts nature. And when we look at this nature, we create our technology that will behave like nature. That's the way it is. Now, we go to the origin of mechanics. When we go to origin of mechanics, which is this. Look at it. Science is beautiful. Science is so nice. But the way we are taught science, it doesn't seem nice, you know. The way we are taught science in school, it doesn't seem nice. It doesn't seem nice and easy. So look at it. I want you to actually see how the moon, the position of the moon. This is our flat plane. That is it, our flat plane. This is the dome of Earth. The dome of Earth. This is the moon. There is a mistake that people who get hand to this, device are making. The mistake they are making is that they continue to rotate this. They are rotating this. This should not be rotating. This and the dome supposed to be the ones rotating, not our solid, not our plane, not our flat plane. The flat plane is stationary. The dome and the moon rotate. That's why sometimes you see, when you look up there, you find the movement of our dome, the movement of the firmament. You see it moving. Those are the things that move. The moon moves, travels, but the earth is stationary. Now look at the position of the sun. You see the axis where the sun is actually moving. They have the handles. So something that have the handle, why is it moving? Your wall clock, your watch has its own, handle, the second hand, the minute hand, and the second hand, the minute hand, and the hour hand. Three of them. They have it, right? Your clock. Why is it that the body of your clock does not move? But in our reality, they want us to believe that the earth is moving. Why is it the body of the clock does not move? But they want you to believe that this flat plane is a sphere ball that is moving. Is your clock a sphere? But it is actually, working according to the time they have, the sun and the moon have created for us. So if the body of our clock is moving, that means this place is moving. But if the body of the clock is not moving, the flat plane on the clock is not moving, the only thing that is moving is the equator that creates day and the night for the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. That is exactly the thing that is moving, which is the moon here. The moon here is this side, is this dark part of the moon, the light part of the moon. And remember that we have all of them here, the planet in our galaxy. Now, if we want to check those planets in our galaxy, we do this. One moment. I think I don't have that that which depicts our Milky Way. Okay, look at this. This also depicts our flat plane. Our flat plane. Now, when people talk about the circumference between South America to Australia, when people begin to calculate that and pulling up a sphere and pulling up, comparing it with what do you call this? Comparing it with a flat disk, flat plane. Now, you'll find out that the navigation system that our plane is using is actually created for a purpose of hiding some part of the world, so that the plane will focus on this particular area of navigation. That's exactly what is going on. They will focus on the particular area of navigation without exploring every means possible to get there faster. So that's why spherical Earth, they draw our navigation system for the plane in a way that it will focus on flying through certain areas, compromising, making your journey even further, just to make sure they avoid what the malevolent is hiding from us. That's why you see places like when they go to Bermuda Triangle, which Bermuda Triangle is a gateway, they go to Antarctica, which has also a gateway, to all the realm that is, supernatural. So when we get to those areas, you think about the conspiracy theories that is, or the myth stories that exist within those areas. Sometimes they tell you in Bermuda Triangle, plane and the ship, they disappear without a trace. They disappear without a trace. Have you ever seen your uncle, your family member, who disappeared in those areas without a trace? No. Now, this begs the question of, we understand, if you can remember, because I can categorically tell you that there are gateways within the ocean to other realm. There are gateways within the ocean to other realm. But before we get to that gateway, before we get to that, there is something I was looking for. Let me show you what I was looking for. Let's pull up what I was looking for so that if I have it here. The one I have is not complete. The one that I actually came with is not really complete. Which is this. Okay, let me pull it up on the screen, but the screen is not going to give us all I won't be able to be pointing at it while analyzing it at the same time. Well, let me try that. Maybe it will work. Let me pull it up on the screen. Here, this is exactly what we are looking for. I want you to assess what is in front of you. This is exactly what we see in our Milky Way galaxy. Look at it properly and assess it right in front of you. You see the area that is actually labeled, there are gates. Those are gates, gateway out, but not gateway out to the space, but gateway out to other planets. Those are what we are seeing here. And that exactly is the same thing as what you can see. What you can see here. That's exactly the same thing you see in your here. And the same thing you find here. If you understand the correlation. They are the same. They are the same. Here, and the one that was just on your screen. Just different way of analyzing them. Different way of analyzing them. That's what we have here. And what moves is the ocean, because everything, okay, our planet Earth, like the land mass is actually in the middle of ocean. Ocean is moving around the land mass. Ocean is moving around the land mass because the Earth is like, the land mass is like an iceland where ocean is surrounded by ocean. So the movement of the ocean is what we see here, is what we see within the Milky Way, the movement of the ocean. And then the movement of the ocean create the waves that actually bring about the shift, tectonic shift, that give birth to other lands, planets, continent, etc. So that's what we have here. And they all came from this small little thing in the middle. You see this small tiny little ice wall in the middle here, that's where they all came from. Because they all expanded from here. Very difficult to understand, right? But it is easy if you move beyond or transcend this indoctrination that you went through of spherical Earth. There is nothing like spherical Earth. The spherical Earth doesn't, the only thing that is fair, maybe they look at the sun and the moon. When the position of the sun and the moon, they call it sphere. Or maybe, remember that when you look at the stars, what we call stars, the stars are basically like round. But when they reflect on the firmament, they can reflect, like something else, right? Because it is the reflection we are seeing. We are not seeing the original stuff. We see the reflection. The reflection can give you something, can give you the, like, when you look at yourself in the mirror, your right hand becomes your left hand becomes your right hand. Like if you look at yourself in the mirror, something like that, right? So that's exactly the mirror of what we are seeing. What we are seeing up there is the mirror of what we have down there, down here. Because the celestial bodies we are talking about is down here. The reflection of it, it is visible to us up there. It is just like a mathematics that we need to solve. That's why they are hiding information from us. That's why they don't want us to explore the landmass on planet Earth. Because if we can explore the landmass on planet Earth, we can know better. When we talk about Dogon tribe from Mali, which people suggest that Dogon tribe, they have this tradition, they were able to communicate with the celestial body. Remember that there was a time those who everything was close to everyone. Everything was close to each other. There was a time things were close to each other. So when things were close to each other, you can see these celestial bodies better than the way you are seeing them today. You can see the constellation of this celestial, or constellation of the stars, better because everything were closer to each other. There has never been, this ecosystem disturbing of the nature or going against the order of the nature, which the people ruling over us today in technology and everything are going against the order of the nature. So nature begin to depart from us. During the time the Dogon tribe what they are talking about was that this is their own, tradition, that they kept their own history, their own story. They continue to pass it from generation to generation, and they kept it sacred because they actually took advantage of it while it still lasted, the time everything was closer to everyone. Our behavior determines what is made available to us. Every animal that is on this planet Earth is supposed to be under the control of man, under our control. But today, if you see lion, the way you will run, because we have gone against the order of nature. So the nature is actually against us. That's basically the way it is. Before a technology exists, it must exist in nature first. We look at the nature to implement, to actually innovate. We look at the nature to procreate. We look at the nature to create technology. Just like I made a reference, if you want to actually build a plane, you look at the birds. That's the way it is. If you want to build a compass, you look at our earth, the flat plane. You build a compass. That's why the compass is the way it is. If our earth is spherical, we're supposed to be making use of more spherical compass, which is what they use as a decoration in homes. In people's houses, they use this spherical compass, in order to, as a decoration. Why aren't they using it to navigate their way to where they go? So that's exactly the way it is, guys. It is, this truth is in a plain sight. We undermine the plain sight. We are digging deep. And digging deep is quite expensive, and you will get eventually tired of digging deep. But instead of actually starting from where you can reach, look at our moon. Look at our moon. Planet Earth extends beyond the ice walls. It extends beyond the ice walls, but doesn't mean that it extends out of space or out to the space. Look at our moon, how it covers us. Look at it. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 planets here. 5 planets here. That's what we have here. 5 planets. Planet Earth axis. This is planet Earth axis. Then the next planet here, the second axis. That's how you understand the movement of the Milky Way. Now, the sun axis is here. The sun axis, that's how they calculate, they use it to calculate the lunar, what do you call it? Lunar, what do you call this? I just said it now, but look at this. Now, you see all these handles you see, they are moving. They are all moving, but our Earth does not move. But the water in this axis, the water within this axis, they are moving. They are moving. For the sake of the argument I had earlier on in a platform, maybe, one of the people who were actually engaging in that argument, you will understand that people say that the lunar cycle, so this is used to calculate the lunar cycle. So one of the argument that we had today was talking about there is no solid in our existence. Somebody was making that argument that there are no solid in our existence, solid matter in our existence. But they are mistaken that the solids exist here. But when they are still in the quantum state, they might not be solid in the quantum state, the process. But as long as we have iron that is already made, we have a chair where we sit down, it's already made. It is solid. Let's not fool ourselves. Let's not deceive ourselves being overly educated. In the quantum state, which is the state before creation, primordial state, you might say there is no solid in the primordial state. So, but once it is perfected, you cannot say it doesn't happen. Maybe as long as you are still trapped in a matter, which is your body, everything, things are solid. There is solid wall. You cannot go through it. The only time you can go through it is making, bringing your vibration back to the primordial state, which is state of vibration that is actually, unadulterated. That's the only time you can go through the wall. That's when you let your dark matter out with your soul. When you let your soul out, everything is actually liquid. You can go through anything. You can go through anything because you are in a frequency that aligns with everything, that brings everything back to the primordial state. So that's exactly the way it is. So for the sake of that argument, I know my battery actually went off while we were still at 8. So basically, we are living in a flat plane. We're not living in a prism. Prism, not prison. Prism. We are living in a flat earth that is covered by the dome, which is the dome is what you see here, and it is impermeable. It is impermeable. So the idea that people are going out of space is a lie. People are going to the space. They are not going out of space. People go to the space. The space craft you see, it is within our space. It is not out of our space. Out of our space, what are they going to see? Okay, Black Knight satellite, which appears here. The Black Knight satellite, which appears here, that the extraterrestrial is using to monitor us, which they call themselves God, and so many of you are praying to them. And these people, our blood is E1B1A. Now look at them. Look at where it all began. Look at where it all began. Okay, Atlantis, the Nephilims that appeared, the Adam now existed. Now, look at, okay, Enki and Enlil. Okay, this is Sumerian story, right? Now we come down to, is it? Okay, where is it? You see their blood type. See their blood type. RH, that is their blood type. RH, that is their blood type. Now, our blood type, it says to be E1B1A. And the secondary blood type is E1B1B. And the next one is R. The next one is R. The ones that are R came from a star system called Orion and Saurian. They are Draco. They are reptilian race. The one that starts with R. They are they are actually blood mixed with the reptilian blood. That is exactly what it is. This is the reptilian blood, RH. That's it. And then their influence is part of the problem we are facing here. Look at what they use to monitor us. They use Black Knight satellite to monitor us. That's what they use to monitor us. And this Black Knight satellite is within our space. Because themselves, they cannot go there. They cannot go out of space themselves. They are also trapped. That's why I said they came through the ocean gate. They never flew up there and came here. They came through the ocean gate. They came through the gate. They never came through the fence. Because you can't come through the fence. You came through the gate into the planet Earth. The Black Knight satellite is orbiting our space, monitoring each and every move we are making. The same way that people tell you that they are on a space mission does not mean people are going there to look for whether there is life, somewhere. No. That is why there are selected people who can go there. It is beneath our firmament. It cannot go beyond. It cannot go beyond because it says here, it is impermeable. It is impermeable. That's what you see, dome of earth. That's what this thing is called in this origin of mechanic. This is the first ever analog computer. The first ever analog computer. It is impermeable here. So how do they go there? That's when I say also that they can go to the moon. The moon is not out of the firmament. The moon is local. But is it a solid matter? Is it not? If it is solid, they might go there. But their theory of the moon, which suggests that the moon travels more than 3,000 kilometers per hour, how did they jump in? Those are the questions that we continue to ask. It's a flower of its burning tree. In the Bible, which gene says it's tree? Oh, I don't really understand that question. Bongani said moon is local. I believe, I can't just tell people, what I take it as the journey to the moon is when people sleep and wake up and tell you their dream. You just believe them because you want in their dream. That's exactly the way I say it. But having seen the information they give out there, 3,600 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken, that the moon travel per hour. Dude, which vehicle that travels like that fast? If you divide 3,000 kilometers per hour with the vehicle traveling at 360 kilometers per hour, that means what the vehicle that travels 360 kilometers per hour, they're still less than 1,000 horsepower, right? They will still be less than 1,000. At highest, at most, they will be like 1,000 horsepower. Vehicle that can do that. Now, if we divide and multiply, how many horsepower? Let's give it 1,000 for 360. 1,000 for 360 per kilometer, 360 kilometers per hour. Let's give it 1,000 horsepower. Or is it too much? Okay. The concept of latitude is basically the distance between from the north to the south. The distance from the north to the south. Zero latitude is actually from the beginning from the north, then extending to the other side. That is actually, what I understand as latitude. Latitude is the distance between this from one, pole to another pole. It is not about the height. It's about the distance. But on a flat plane, we might say the radius or circumference. So the moon, when we talk about the moon is up there. And what you should understand that what keeps, most of these things up, I can say it is the magnetic field that keeps them up there, the magnetic field. But the sun is not necessarily up there because the sun is super hot. The moon is higher above the sun. But the moon is also, because the position of the moon being here and the position of the sun being here, if this moon comes here, remember that these things are quite huge. They are big. If the moon comes here, it can block the sun. That's when we have solar eclipse. If the moon, the dark side of the moon comes here and block the sun, there will be no light in our realm. So that's exactly what it is. So I don't know exactly what question do you have about the moon. I don't know the exact question you have about the moon. The movement of the time. Okay. Can you explain the concept of latitude and the sun movement, moon movement, and the time on a flat earth theory? Okay. The time we have actually deals with the moon and the sun, because time doesn't exist. It is the time, how long the moon or the sun actually, shine upon us, determines what is during the day, right? And the moon appears at night. So basically, time does not really exist. Time does not really exist. That's why there is, the space-time is quite different from our time. Because there is no time in space. There is only time where the sun is shining upon us. So this mechanic was able to, it is able to align with how long does the sun stay, is shining on our hemisphere, whether be it the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. How long does it shine? That's why if you divide here into two, you get the northern hemisphere, you get the the southern hemisphere, or vice versa. Now look at it. The sun can stay here on this side. It is shining upon the northern hemisphere this side. When the sun travels this way, it is on the southern hemisphere. So that's how we calculate the time. When you look at your clock, you see that your clock is like 12, 3, 6, and 9, right? I hope I'm correct. 12, 3, 6, and 9, which suggests what they call the cardinal point. The cardinal point, but the cardinal point does not really, make sense. What we have is like the 12 and the 6. Those are the things that actually, give us the exact, time that we are looking for between the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So this is the center which divides the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. And the sun and the moon, the equilibrium is that the time the sun stays here and the time the sun stays here, it must balance. It must balance between the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. That's exactly what it is. The fuel they use for the rocket that can last them that long, because they are not going that, that's, rocket we see basically, it burns a lot of fuel. Where we think they are going is not basically where they are going. When you see rocket going up there, they just go into the space station. That's what I can say. When you see a rocket going there, they're going to the space station, and they're not going out of space. They're going to the space station, which is within our firmament, which is actually within us, not out of firmament, because the firmament is quite far. It's quite far away from us. Those people who say that there is no firmament, if there is no firmament, do you really think that the atmosphere will be fair on you? If there is no firmament, how do you think the atmosphere of the space will actually, present itself to you? Those who think there are no firmament, how do you think the atmosphere of the space? It will be scary. it will be scary. If there is no firmament, where is heaven? Where is heaven? The concept of heaven being Nibiru, it's a lie. Nibiru is Neptune. That is Nibiru, Neptune. So the concept of they came from heaven is a lie. Heaven is above the firmament. And that's why the firmament is impermeable. Just like the Genesis story talks about it. The throne of the Creator is upon here. The throne of the Creator is upon here. How do you penetrate? Our throne is here. Their throne is beneath ours, because ours gave birth to it. The throne of the Creator gave birth to our throne. Our earth here gave birth to our earth. The thing that is above here gave birth to our earth, which is the source of everything, and our earth gave birth to the rest of them. It is expansion. Expansion. That's why you hear about 1 × 1 = 2. It is expansion. It is not declining. Nothing is stagnant. Nothing is stagnant. Everything is expanding. So that's exactly what it is. And the movement of the sun basically is what affects how we, is what influence our timing. Is what influence. I can't say it affects how we calculate time. I think it influences how we calculate time. Movement of the sun and the moon, because they serve to, they serve our northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. That's what the sun and the moon serves it. But the sun extends beyond our planet. There is other planet that is making use of the same sun that we are using. Other planets that are making use of the same sun that we are using. So the movement of the sun and the moon influence our time keeping. Above the firmament is water. The same way above this planet here. Okay, I don't know why this is blurry. Let's find out. Let me see, because I want to show you guys something. It's blurry again. So let's see if it is going to clear up. Okay, it seems it's better now. So remember, in this axis, what you call axis here is the movement of the ocean, the movement of water, right? Movement of water. And this water you see here moving, the same way what gave birth to us, what gave birth to our planet, above them there is also water. Then there is another, the throne. I wouldn't call it planet. I can call it the throne. Just like Genesis story talks about the heaven. Okay, not really Genesis story only, which they say, it talks about, there is a particular passage in the Bible that says, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. Do you get that concept? Heaven above here is the throne. Here is the footstool. You get that concept, because heaven gave birth to where we are, and where we are gave birth to other, other planets. It is stage by stage. Every other planet have the oceans surrounding them. The same way our planet have oceans surrounding it. The same way the heaven also have oceans surrounding it. Because everything is a replica of the other. Replica of the other. It's just expansion of the other. That's what we see in the flower of life. Replica of the other. All of them are the same thing, replicating each other. They are expanding. That's what they are doing. They just keep on expanding. That's what they do. And now, in the real flower of life, you see, the more they are expanding, the more they are creating life. Because don't let anybody fool you that people are going to see if there are life in other places. There is life. Life exists. We don't even need to go far to find it. This represents the host. The circle here represents the host. The flower here represents life. Represent lives. Those things that looks like vortices inside these flowers, they represent also the interconnectedness, and it can also represent microchip in your computer system, because all of this technology came from here. Microchip in your computer system, which actually bring balance in each and every planet, bring balance, which is the equator. In our planet Earth, it is called the equator. It brings balance between the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. It brings balance between them. The sun shines for them at their own time. The moon shines for them at their own time. Now, that is exactly what you see as a magnetic field in your computer panel. Before you build a computer panel, you must have a flat panel. A flat panel before you start installation of the components. It must come with there must be a flat panel. Then the installation starts. The soldering, the wiring, and everything starts. So that's what it's here. And now what actually brings balance to them is the microchip in the middle. It gives life to the life, gives negative to negative, balance everything. That is it. That's what we have here. This is the origin of everything in our existence. The interconnectedness of everything in our existence. So that's what we have here. And that's, what is depicted here. What is depicted here. This is our time, what we used to, follow our time. But the reason why people will tell you that time is an illusion is because time does not exist in the absence of the moon and the sun. Everything blends back to the source, darkness. And I want you to know that darkness is not evil. Darkness is the creator. Darkness is there. Darkness was before any other thing. Darkness is not evil. Dark magic is the strongest magic in existence. They call it evil magic because the reason why they call it evil magic is the cosmic saga between light and darkness, which is actually replicating itself in our own realm, the same way it replicates itself in every other place. Where there is light skin and dark skin, where there is light and darkness, there is cosmic saga, which is conflict between them. Who is more important? Who is more superior? But light will always appear to say, I am superior, because once I arrive, darkness goes away. Without light knowing that darkness stays, it doesn't matter how much light shine up there, darkness will wait. Immediately light gets tired and go away. Darkness appears. No one needs to turn it on or turn it off. Once you are tired, you move on. You move away, darkness continues. Every other things can die off in this planet Earth. But E1B1A will never die off because they are actually the primordial God. They were before any other thing. in existence. Every other planet might fade away, but planet Earth will never fade away completely because it is before all of them. Every other thing might collapse, but the heaven will never collapse. It will never go away. If you understand the stages of life, how they come to exist. The branch can die, but the root will never die. If you want all of them to die, you destroy the heaven. Then every other thing collapses. The source is what we call the heaven. The source of existence, the source where everything emanated from. That's what we call the heaven. Where, time does not, exist. Where time does not exist. Everything blends in. Everything is supernatural. That's the way it is. The same thing. Do you know that if you understand atom very well, if you understand atom, you understand, the source, where we came from, the source of existence, what you call God. But we are God. If we understand that atom is the building block of everything in existence, the building block of all matter. Now, look at it. Atom you see today might have sentience because, or you can say it does not have sentience, but when atom actually comes into organism, it helps the organism to develop sentience. When atom comes, interaction of atom in a living organism help the living organism to develop sentience, right? Now, when we talk about the source where we all came from, because we know the replica, everything is about replica. This one then gave birth to this one now, from this one to this one, from that one to that one, from that one to that one, and the more they are evolving. Our children have ability to, to explore the planet Earth more than us because they are going to exist where the malevolent will die. Now, look at it. Atom actually is a very good example of where we came from. Atom does not make use of sentience, but it can create sentience in living organism, which some scientists say that atom does not have sentience. But interaction of atom in living organism help them to develop sentience. Does it make sense that it doesn't have sentience? It might not make sense, it might make sense. Because the sentience in atom is dormant. If sentience in atom is not dormant, atom stays alive and atom will be resisting. You cannot make use of atom because it will now be feeling pain. It will have consciousness. Now, atom allows us to make use of it in order to help us to, evolve and develop. Now, the same thing where we came from, or the source where we came from, think about it this way. The source where we came from does not interact with us in a real time, but there are immutable laws. There is law of physics. It is not the law of the source. The law of the source deals with the law of nature. It encompasses every laws. And the laws that how we interact with our fellow being, our fellow human. That is the law of nature. The law that talks about equal and opposite reaction. The law of reciprocity. That is the law we are talking about. So, it is an immutable law. The source does not make use of its sentence because if it makes use of its sentence, it will feel our pain. Anything that happens to us will affect the source because the source is where we came from. It will feel our pain, and at the end of the day, it will go against the code that it created, against the law that it created. which is the law is immutable. So that is exactly the dichotomy between the source and atom. Atom is the god of our reality, of the existence, or the building block of everything in our existence. That is atom. It is from atom we find water to drink. Atom, the mixture of two different atoms, give us H2O, which is 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, gives us H2O, water. We drink it, we live. And oxygen is what we actually, rely on to thrive. It is part of atom, right? So you will now understand the relationship between atom and the source where we came from. There is a relationship, but I'm not saying atom is God. Atom doesn't have, it is not. Just like I tell you, if you want to create aeroplane, you look at the birds that is flying up there. If you want to create a compass, you look at the shape of our planet Earth and the position of the equator before you create it. So that's how everything is created. So atom is the secondary, thing that depicts the creation or depict the creator. That is atom. So it is quite deep, especially if you are so into religion, especially religion of Christianity and religion of Islam. If you are deep into it, you will never have open mind to engage in this type of topics, because you will say, I am calling you a God, atom. That's not what I'm doing. I'm not calling you a God, atom. I am basically telling you the behavior, how it behaves, because everything is connected to one another. Everything is a replica of the other. So that's how we evolve. That's how we also bring up technologies. We look at the nature, we create something that looks like it. So that's the way it is. That's the way it is. I don't know if you have question. If you have any question, you can basically ask, because we are coming to the end of the program. I believe we've been here for like 2 hours plus. So basically we are rounding up. If you have question, let me check. Sunlight even at the midnight on a round spherical earth. Bongani, I don't understand what you mean by sunlight even at the midnight on a round spherical earth. I don't understand what you mean here. Sunlight on a midnight in a round spherical earth. So at King, okay. Is it Bongani? You are responding to King Motapa. Explain Barrow, non-VAT, Iceland, just a name, but a few. How will they get sunlight? Okay, I think I don't see any further question. So, guys, this is where we are going to leave it. Thank you for joining us. Kara, appreciate you too. Thank you for joining us. We are going to meet again tomorrow. If we are able to squeeze in time, we will meet again, and we will continue